everyone, I'm back again for another review. How to Get Away with Murder. Always bet black. My goodness, this is going to be a great season because we are still asking the question in episode 3, who's underneath the sheet? So we closed out the last episode with Annalise being arrested, Oliver being handed her cell phone, being told to wipe it clean, and Annalise is going away. Her house is on fire, and we don't know who's underneath the sheet. Okay? So Oliver runs out and basically goes to wipe down the phone. That's how the episode opens up. He goes to the law clinic and I guess has some sort of program he can use there where he can wipe down her cell phone. Then we have our flashback as usual in this episode. Oh, by the way, during this time, Annalise, at the beginning, we also see her being fingerprinted and her mugshot is taken. I guess Viola Davis is 5'7", okay? And the officer makes an observation that, oh, by the way, we didn't find a cell phone on your person. Okay, as if that's unusual. Maybe she ran out the house without her cell phone. Maybe there's all kinds of speculative ways to look at this, okay? So we open up with Nate, who I guess is Mr. Olympia, Mr. Fitness now, making smoothies for her and breakfast. I was like, ain't no bacon, eggs, and cheese coming with that, Nate. Come on now. We can be go green any other time. Annalise is stressed. She needs comfort food. He tells Annalise that for Frank, he's filed a missing person report. And she like freaks out. And he's like, don't worry about it. I'm only doing it because I'm trying to test something to see if we can draw him out. Which, you know, you're probably not going to draw out Frank anyway. They want to talk about their relationship during this time. And he was like, what are we really doing? I'm like, y'all just sleeping together is what it looked like to me. Maybe y'all just friends with benefits. Maybe it's just revenge sex. I don't know what's going on with y'all because she did set you up to take the fall for Sam's murder. But not really because she was protecting her students. But at the same time, she knew you would be vindicated. Just saying. She goes to campus, dumps the smoothie he gives her. I was like, damn, that was made with love and tender care of washboard Ab Nate. Girl, what's wrong with you? But I understand it can be a bit much if it wheatgrass and soy protein and all of that. You gotta add some more stuff in there, like some liquor. No, I'm tripping. But she runs into the president who tells her that, you know, just work with me. I'm trying to work in your best interest and da-da-da-da. And she tells her that, you know, she's fighting for her. And Annalise is like, oh, really? Because I'm fighting for my entire career at this point. I really am. The president asked her to keep a low profile and all of this. But Annalise tells the president basically that you're just a brown noser and it must be really cool collecting all these gold stars for the sake of your career while I'm fighting for mine. Okay? Well, down at the law clinic, we have a new case, and this one right here, I can truly say is comical and sad all at the same time. And as we discuss this, we shall talk further about why it's comedy. So this guy named Toby Solomon, the call girl creeper, he basically had a thing. He was a wealthy real estate developer or whatever. He ordered girls online for a good time because later on we learned that some of these women just didn't find him attractive and would only take payment just to sleep with him. So he gave her the GHB. She OD'd, and instead of him calling 911 to help her, he dumps her out. I think it was in the cold of night. She dies 2 days later from respiratory failure. Oh, brother. And so people are like, well, if he's a wealthy real estate developer, why does he need us? Well, they're like, he went broke trying to defend himself in these cases, in this particular case. So now we're going to take it. Michaela is declared the point person. She's really not interested in taking this case because once they meet him, she's like, oh my God, he is so disgusting. Oh my God. He was like, hey, you going to be my attorney. My name is Toby. I was like, I wouldn't want the case either if I knew somebody had done some shit like that. I'm all about due process, fairness, and justice, but some things you just like, nah, I'm a file a removal. I can't. I need to be removed from this case. I can't. There's the sisters in the courtroom going tit for tat. The ADA versus Annalise Keating. There is they basically did what is a trick that can work in your favor or backfire in your favor, basically discovery dumping, where they really don't give any type of organize. They just give you what you asked for and you have to find it. Like, okay, yeah, here's all our evidence we have. It's in no particular file order. So there's this picture that was hidden there that Annalise tells the judge that if you let this in, this is reversible error. And he's like, I'm cool with that. Let's see it. Well, it's a selfie of this idiot with the dead girl. Dead to the sofa, okay? Again, shout out to Funky Dineva for that. Dead too. Well, needless to say, it comes in, so that doesn't look good. Later on, they're all out in the hallway discussing the case. Michaela's like, I can't in good conscience represent him. I want off this case. And I'm like, okay. And then he overhears them talking about him because they call him a pervert and all this other stuff. He tells them, you shouldn't be talking about me like that behind my back. It's demeaning. And Annalise checks him for having the audacity to even articulate that people shouldn't be talking about him given his current situation. Boo, you are in no position to be trying to tell somebody what they should and should not say about you. Laurel goes to see her father, as Annalise has asked, because they know that Laurel's father would probably be the best candidate to find Frank, as he has some sort of, I guess he used to work for the government. Now he has his own company called Antares or something. They build like spy satellites and personal security. I really don't know what all they do, because at one point during the show, we saw Wes looking up his business and trying to hack into there. He meets her. You can tell that there's like this, don't touch me, father. And so he knows that there's an issue in their relationship. So he brings in essentially the company psychologist to mediate. And it turns into just like a he said, she said, what you should have done, what you didn't do. We learned that Laurel was kidnapped at age 16 and her father refused to pay the ransom because the government told him not to. And she's upset about that. We find that he left her mother doing, I guess she was having some sort of breakdown or something. And then he met her stepmother a month later and married her. And, Laurel just has some daddy issues, basically, is what it is. And, the whole time her dad's like telling her, I don't trust this Frank. I don't like him. What's up with him? And she was like, have you been listening to my calls? Wiretapping is a federal offense. You can be locked up for that. And he's like, whatever. But what killed me was her dad's Frank Delfino voice. He's like, so you messing around with this Italian dude? My name is Frank Delfino. Yeah. I was like, okay, Pop, I'm going to need for you to calm down on all of that. So I'm kind of going to wrap this storyline up right here. So essentially what happens is that Laurel really asked her father to help her find Frank. And he's not really willing to do that because he needs something in exchange, which lets me know that Laurel's father has unclean hands and is probably engaging in behavior he shouldn't be, since he is a holder of government contracts. So he comes by the house with some sort of dulce de leche dessert, which looked delicious and it was tasty. And he comes with some sort of property transfer. He said, this is a business I need to put in your name and transfer over. And she's like, I'm not signing that. And so he's like, well, no sign, no Frank info. Bye. So my thing with Laurel is this. However despicable your father is, the life you have is probably being funded by him. Do you really want to end up like Asher, poor little rich girl? I mean, look at him. He's poor little rich boy. He lost. He don't know what to do, girl. I think you would be lost if your daddy cut you off. I think you need to get information and do what you got to do. Okay? And respect your daddy. Otherwise, just leave and stop taking his money. If you don't like him so much, don't take his money. There is a point in the story when Frank does call her. And he told her, he said, I know what's going on. Y'all need to stop. I am not coming back. I know what's going on with Annalise. Did she tell you that she tried to kill me? Tell her I said, fuck you, we even. And hung up. So after she gets this call from Frank and several conversations, it seems like, with Wes, whom she's starting to mess with Wes's relationship, which I think is what she wants, because I think deep down inside she has feelings for Wes, the puppy. She is conflicted because she really does have love for Frank Delfino. Annalise calls her. She ignores her call, but she takes Wes's calls when he calls. So finally, she goes to her father's office. She hands over the property transfer papers. He tells her exactly where Frank is. He's somewhere in Pittsburgh. So he's been sitting under their nose all along, because I think Annalise's school or whatever is right there in Philadelphia. So for some reason, Laurel does not confess to Annalise when she gets back that she knows where Frank is. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if Frank and her in the burning building, because it seems like Laurel lied to Annalise, and if you lie to Annalise and she finds out, she knows that you can't be trusted and you're possibly not loyal. I'm just saying. Meanwhile, back at the clinic, the law students are trying to get the case for the call girl creeper together. Poor Michaela, as if she needed another heartbreak. Michaela X, Asher and Connor find out that he's engaged to somebody else, and that they are going to be living the life of luxury that Michaela always wanted but was willing to give up. Because, you know, last season, I think it was last season, she found out that her fiance had slept with Connor, actually. So it's kind of hard when you find out that your man done slept with another man, and you like, I don't know if I can trust you, because you might be trying to sleep with your coworkers, and it might not be female. So I can understand, but she's so heartbroken by it. And that's when the creepy client tells her that oh, you look way better than she do. Oh my God, you're easily a 10. Yeah, girl, holla at me. I was like, no, Michaela, I would ask to be removed from the case too, me personally. And that's when Asher's like, hey, buddy, she's mine. She's my boo. I was like, you go ahead, Asher, with your chocolate loving self. You want you some boo. Oh, God. And that's when Bunny walk in and things get a little awkward. For the life of me, this is where I think the writers missed a great opportunity to just continue to cover it up. There is no way that Asher could have said, I'm just saying that because I want to get the crazy client away from Michaela. That's all he had to say. But you know, Asher is so hell-bent on being in a relationship with Michaela and just loving her. And, you know, maybe one day he'll get his money back, and then maybe Michaela will want him. I don't know. I don't know. Annalise meets with ADA Renee Atwood. That is the lady that was in the courtroom with her that had done what they call discovery dumping, basically. Prosecutorial misconduct at its finest. Hate the lawyer, but do what you can in the best interest of the client. And as a prosecutor, I thought that was pretty low for her even to concede to the fact that I'm not doing any deals with you because you have a bad reputation in this office and everywhere else, and we're not doing deals with you anymore, Annalise. He's doing time. So the ADA lets her know that this is just payback for the years of bad behavior by Annalise. And Annalise walks out and was like, such confidence. And old girl says, oh yeah, and that's something I learned from you too. That's another move I stole from you. And Annalise was like, cool, but at least I don't have to fake it. I said, hello, Annalise, let her know come through, boo. You ain't been doing this as long as I have, honey. So once again, we have another scene with that oh so fine and sexy Nate, Officer Leahy, and Annalise. He all oiled up and stuff, like he been out sweating and working out really hard, like he pumping like 250 pounds or something. And that's when the crew all runs in to tell Annalise that a creepy client ain't all that he seems. It's Bonnie, Oliver, and Michaela. This fool, the creepy client, then withdrew $200,000 from a bank account I guess he was trying to hide as not being his. And they were like, we thought he was broke ass. He ain't broke ass. He hiding money. Hey, ain't that what they all do? Ask the Donald. So they roll up on him, Bonnie and Annalise, and she was like, I thought you said you were broke, fool. No, true. And they were like, I thought you said you were broke. And that's when it's confession time, honey, baby. So he said he killed somebody and one of his prior lawyers is blackmailing him. Okay. So when they get back to the office, they herd him into Annalise's office, and they tell Michaela she's off the case, which she is very relieved about, and tells everybody just go home. Everybody go home. In the office, they find out that the client has killed somebody, and she is dead to the freezer. He tells the story of that basically this girl was high as a kite. I guess he had given her some cocaine or something. She tells him, you're ugly, you're fat, you're nasty, you need to have plastic surgery. I don't want to be with you. Bop! Clocked her in the head with a damn bat. I think it was a bat or a pipe or something. But either way, she dead to the floor. And he was like, I'm going to see you no more. So he put her in the freezer and dumped the body. So Annalise is like, damn. And as an attorney, you are in a conundrum because you are bound by the rules of professional conduct not to say certain things about and disclosure of your client's information. So it's like, well, what do we do? And so Bonnie's like, well, nobody knows who I am. I can give an anonymous tip. But then Annalise is like, but he'll know it came from my office. But then I was thinking maybe not. Maybe he'll think it's the attorney he's blackmailing. That's blackmailing him. Maybe he'll think that. But either way, it is a conundrum. What do you do? That night in bed with Nate, she can't sleep. Nate tells her basically consider this Vegas. Anything we say here under these covers will stay under these covers. And without giving away too much, Annalise basically says, I have a girl dead in the refrigerator and I don't know what to do about her. Okay. Meanwhile, some of the Keaton Five are out to have a good time, okay? Michaela Aston sold $20,000 out of the $200,000 that the client had taken out of his secret bank account. And she tells Oliver, call Connor, we all going out, we gonna have us a good time. So they end up probably at some Atlantic City casino, and they up there playing. She said $20,000 all on black. Always bet on black. Because by then she was 2 shots to win. And so they win. And they keep winning until they hit red, and then it don't end so well. Everybody broke ass, and they don't know how they gonna replace this $20,000. So they end up going out to some damn pawn shop and getting some more money off of the ring that she had, and she quoting statutes and laws, telling the pawn shop owner he better fork over all that money because that ring was worth more than what he gave her. So during this time, Asher observes Oliver being approached by some dude that kind of reminded me, for some reason, of a Tom Cruise of the 80s, 90s, like a Cocktails, Top Gun type look, Days of Thunder. And I guess he was trying to hit on Oliver, and then Asher's like, yo man being a hit on. He was like, we don't even go together anymore. We're not in a relationship. He was like, oh. Asher gets the line of the night for this one, because he's like, oh, come on now, broke back, don't give up. I said, Asher, you are so politically incorrect. Why he got to be broke back? Okay. So either way, the dude ends up approaching Connor. He was like, oh, you got to drink wine. You should give it to Oliver. He was like, Asians ain't really my thing. All of a sudden, Connor lashes out and just goes into this tirade. Of course, Oliver sees it as him interrupting his potential for a liaison or something like that. Connor doesn't even tell him the real reason why he lashed out at dude, because dude was just like, I don't really do Asians, but you're my kind. Okay. Annalise let go and let have in that courtroom on Miss Renee Atwood. See, Renee Atwood, there's a thing that you never ever underestimate the power of a very prestigious attorney, such as Annalise Keating, honey. She did not come to play, she came to slay. This is chess, not checkers, darling. So either way, she basically has the client on the stand, and Annalise lets out in open court the fact that Renee, the ADA, basically told her that she would never get another deal, that nobody in this office wants to play with you, we're not going to do deals with you, and she says that gives rise to prosecutorial misconduct. And I was like, girl, and she came with receipts too. Nice try, Miss Atwood, but you are no match for Annalise Keating and her team of minions, okay? So he does get a deal. Annalise tells him, you get 3 years. This fool, this ungrateful fool, who apparently, as Aunt Vi would say, knows nothing about graciousness. Annalise, I swear, I was like, Ike Turner and Tina, here we go. Eat the cake, anime. Eat the cake, anime. He said, 3 years. 3 years in prison. I hired you because I thought you could get me off with no jail time. And she was like, what? I was like, oh. And Bonnie said, whoo. And I was like, whoo. And I was like, oh, damn, did she just slap her client? Yes, she did. She slapped the taste out of his mouth. Like, show enough, shut your mouth. Eat the cake, anime. Take the deal. Take the deal. He was like, oh, I'll take the deal. I'm going to take the deal. I'll be a good boy from now on, I promise. I was like, oh, shit. This was the slap that had to be heard around the world. I was like, Vibe tried to tell y'all on Queen Sugar about graciousness. You didn't have it, so Annalise had to knock it into you. Bonnie and Michaela have a moment. It's discovered that Michaela took the money. I thought dude honestly had slipped to the $20,000 to go have a good time. But she stole it, get the money back. And then Michaela is like trying to apologize to Bonnie for her relationship with Asher. But I'm like, Bonnie broke up with Asher, so I don't get why it should be awkward. And so she was like, see there? We almost made it. We were cool. I don't want to talk about it. Maggie is needy and jealous of Laurel. She tells him she about to start her emergency rotations at medical school, and she don't need to be worried about him. She needs to be focused, and you know, I'm trying to figure out what to do for your birthday, and you love Laurel more than you love me. I was like, oh my God, Maggie, I thought you were so cool and laid back. Girl, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't no man want no woman. Now, if Wes was truly like viciously, like, I mean, just like blatantly doing things, yeah, but he's really giving you no reason. He's a good boy. He's the puppy. Of course, in this episode, we already talked about, but Laurel did come back and she lied point blank to Annalise about the location of Frank for whatever reason. Now we are back in present day. The roof is still on fire. Bonnie comes up. She finds Oliver. So we know it's not Bonnie or Oliver that is under the sheet. She says that Annalise told me to make sure that you took care of the phone. She lets them know that she's on the scene. She's Annalise's attorney. She needs to get through. Oliver drops the phone. As he drops the phone, a firefighter calls out and says, hold up, we found another body. And they got a pulse. And then I was like, did he say another body? Who else dead and burnt to a crisp with Chris? Damn near. But either way, once again, we are still left with the question up until I think we have 5 more episodes before we find out who's under the sheet. Between the sheets. Yeah. All right, that's all I've got. Comment down below with anything that I may have missed. So everyone have a great night. I hope you enjoyed the review. I'll get